Mark, and then a chance to say hi. Good. Good morning. We will convene the Public Protection and Judiciary Committee. Janet, would you care to call the roll?
Bob Fiedler.
Present.
Paul Adams.
Present.
Mark Carlson.
Present.
Are there any adjustments to the minutes that were circulated? Seeing none, they're approved. Any public comment this morning? I don't see anybody from the public present, so we'll have no public comment this morning. We'll go right to our business, and Ken is out of town today, so we'll call on Dustin to give the financial report.
Thank you. Your financial report's in the packets. We're through July now, so we have about 40% of the year left. So just kind of looking through some of those items that are well below 40% we're spending a little high on. I know Clerk of Courts has issues with translations. Not a lot they can do about that. They're required, just kind of trending high. And then as we were meeting for the budget review the past couple of weeks, we talked to law enforcement about their overtime, kind of hoping that as they fill those positions, we can get that overtime level down a little bit. It's not quite broken down in the wages here, but it's running about 11% currently. So any other questions, let me know.
Do we have any questions for Dustin on the financial report? Thank you, Dustin. Appreciate it. Item of business will be something we hear from about annually from Natasha Cardinal on our resolution approving the St. Croix County multi-hazard mitigation plan for the next 5 years. Kathy Leaf, our Supervisor Leaf on our committee, serves on the Emergency Planning Committee, and I'll call on Supervisor.
Your mic died.
Sorry, quick overview of the process, and then we'll call on Ms. Cardinal for a more detailed explanation.
Yeah, it's a interesting process, and it's a long time coming. It's a lot of work, and Natasha has done a great job of herding the cats and all the people involved that come to the table to work on this document. So, thank you.
Yeah, good morning. I'll briefly describe the plan, and the primary focus of this plan is really to evaluate the county's potential of any exposure to natural disasters. We locate areas of risk, assess the vulnerabilities throughout the county, and identify appropriate mitigation strategies. The development of the plan is based on planning requirements through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, and then Wisconsin Emergency Management. It's updated every 5 years. The current draft form is 2024 through 2029. The update and completion of this plan continues to make St. Croix County and participating jurisdictions eligible to apply for future federal FEMA hazard mitigation project funds for the next 5-year period. It is a prerequisite for certain FEMA grant funding, so we have to have this plan for mitigation dollars. Project examples include such things as education and outreach, public awareness, safe rooms like those tornado rooms, storm shelters, burying of power lines, and flood-related projects. In the past, since the plan started, our first plan, 2013, St. Croix County's obtained over $1 million in hazard mitigation dollars. That's enabled Deer Park to acquire flood-prone property, River Falls to construct a community safe room, so they have a storm shelter at Hoffman Park. And then in late 2018, we did apply for a pre-disaster mitigation grant for a safe room in Glenwood City to have a tornado shelter on the fairgrounds, and we were awarded that grant in 2020. We found out in June of 2020. However, in interim, project costs became too high during COVID, and we were not able to continue forward with that project. So we're hoping that this may be explored again in the future. Pepperfest North Hudson did apply for one with this round. In this period, they were able to get their sub-plan turned in. However, that got turned down as well. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but with disaster costs going on throughout the whole country right now, it's yeah. So anyways, we do contract with West Central Regional Planning Commission to facilitate this plan update. It takes about 24 months, almost close to 2 years. We started in the fall of 2022, our local emergency planning committee is our steering committee and oversaw plan development, provided input and review. We also included several communities, all the cities, villages, and towns, and other key stakeholders such as our electric co-ops. And new this year is we included educational institutions, so school districts, UW River Falls. They are eligible under this grant now. We held meetings and interviewed most of last summer and last fall, and went over all specific community profiles, hazard risk assessments in each community, their capabilities, and just a lot of work. So like I said, it takes about 24 months. We're hoping where we're at right now, we're hoping to have this wrapped up and get it approved or get a resolution through county board next month and have it wrapped up by the end of September. It's been reviewed by WEM as meeting FEMA planning guidelines, and we're in the adoption process of a few remaining villages and the county. And once those adoptions are received, they're going to be submitted to WEM for a FEMA letter, and then those resolutions in that letter will be inserted to the plan, and the final plan will be distributed to everybody that participated in it. So that's where we're at right now.
Supervisor Rembert.
Thank you. Yeah, boy, that's 472 pages. That's a monster. Thank you. Thanks for the link in there too, by the way. I see that draft is April. Is that the most current?
Yes.
Okay. And then is there anything in the inside of it that you know of where there's proposal for capital expenditures or anything that would affect our budget? Thank you.
I'm not aware of that. I will
Okay.
double check with Chris Straight, but I don't believe so.
Okay, because as county board members, I think we want to be aware of that.
Yeah. So I can tell you that, so for the financials of this, it is a sub-award. We received $41,000 from FEMA for this plan. And the federal share fund through FEMA provides a 75% funding. So they gave us $31,000. This went to, that 75% went to West Central Regional Planning Commission. And then WEM provides a 12.5% match. So that was $51.98. And the county has the remainder 12.5% match. So we paid $5,198. So every 5 years, we're responsible for 12.5%, and that's it. Yep.
So we would, if there is any expenditures that we want grant applications back on, it's usually a percentage anyway.
Correct.
So we would probably initiate the request and already have it in our head as far as budget time.
Yeah,
I would think so. Thank you.
Just off that note, anything, so like the safe rooms or any mitigation grant projects, there usually is a local match. So that would be something that we would have to agree on. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions? And then Supervisor Carlson.
So you said there'd be a local match. So would you present each one separately to us when it comes up to approve, or do we do it beforehand?
Like a community requesting, so like North Hudson, the grant that they wanted to do a tornado shelter. It would be a 25, and you can use in kind. So I'm thinking of the easiest one for me to think of is out at Glenwood City, because I went through that whole process. We were able to use the land value, our time on the application. There's so many things that you can use to meet that in kind, that 25%. So but yes, it would be approval through specific projects and communities that are going for it. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? At this point, we need to approve a resolution adopting the mitigation plan. And I'd like to call on Supervisor Leaf if she'd like to offer such a resolution.
Yes, I'd move to approve the resolution for the St. Croix County Multi-Hazard Mitigation Plan from 2024 to 2029.
I'll second that.
Supervisor Ramberg seconds. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none. I'm sorry. Supervisor.
I'm a little bit confused. I thought the whole county board had to approve it. So are we approving it to send it to county board?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So this is just a resolution that will ultimately be approved by the county board. We're just approving it to send it to them. So with that, I'll just voice vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? It's unanimous in favor of it. Thank you very much for the presentation. And at this point, I'm going to call on the sheriff just for a little guidance as to how he'd like to proceed. Our next big item on the agenda is the annual jail inspection. And so Sheriff, could you tell us how you'd like us to proceed?
Yeah, each year by statute, our parent committee is to tour and inspect the jail. So we're fulfilling that statutory requirement today. In the past, we had gone into recess and then downstairs picked it back up as we enter the jail for quorum purposes. If you wish, you can leave items up here. We'll lock the door and we will head to the stairwell. Because it's a construction area down there right now, be good to keep everybody together, move through that construction area to get to the lobby of the jail. And then we'll begin the inspection tour per statute.
Okay, I think that just as outlined by the sheriff is how we'll proceed. So just before we leave, though, I want to just thank a couple of folks for coming from their respective offices. Judge Needham, who is with us today, but he'll be making a major presentation in September. I shouldn't say major presentation. He'll be, again, making a fine presentation, as he usually does in September. And we'll have some good news, I think, from Chad and his department, and I'm glad Lisa's doing well, or is going, I know she will be doing well, hopefully, when she has her health issue
That's
resolved.
in October, so she has a couple more,
That's right.
maybe a month and a half
Okay.
of walking around.
With that, we'll recess and join the sheriff and reconvene in about 5 minutes downstairs. Thank you.